to Keeping Up with Senior Solutions. And we have three really special guests that Jim and I are going to want to talk to. So Jim, how about if you jump in and introduce, I would say introduce Sara first, because she's driving through North Carolina. Then Tracy, she just got her computer up and running. And Thom is going to be the old timer now because he's worked for us for like over a month.
Okay, and he doesn't look like an old timer, okay? Well, this is a really important show because it kicks off a really significant week. And really, the week goes all year. It's an annual Boost Your Budget Week, sponsored or supported by the National Council on Aging. Sara knows a lot about that. And Sara, what is the overall goal of this week, even though it goes all year round?
This week, we really make a push to get the word out to everybody that's living on a fixed income that there are benefits out there that can help you boost your budget.
That's right. And you have a sort of a special area of expertise, don't you? In the medical insurance issues.
Oh, okay.
And I know it's going to be hard to answer certain things while you're driving, so we'll keep it pretty simple.
Yeah, so what I wanted to do was be here for the introduction and say hello, and then I'll turn my camera off and put my phone down since I am driving, and I'm going to just be part of listening, and I'll just have an image up of me. But I wanted to sort of introduce myself and say hi, and then I'll turn the camera off and stay connected to you all.
Okay,
That
good
sounds
enough.
like a
Very good,
good
Sara.
plan.
Thank you. Drive safely.
And so this is me on vacation last summer.
Oh, nice. Wow. Very nice. I hope you have at least as much fun this year.
Now, Tracy, introducing you, you've been with Senior Solutions now for how long?
I started at Senior Solutions at the tail end of 2019, so about a year and a half.
And you have been the administrative assistant.
I was the front end. I'm not sure exactly what the title changed, but I was the front end supervisor or admin.
Let's put
So
it
I
this way.
basically ran the front office.
There you go. Tracy ran the
Anytime
front
we
office.
needed something or something solved, we would go to Tracy.
Yeah,
Okay?
we would look at each other and go, who are you going to call? And everybody says, Tracy.
Yeah,
The
if you
real-
need pencils, I can help you.
So we're going to
She's a real
miss you.
problem solver. She's a real problem solver. So now what will be your role, Tracy, in this new position?
So I am the brand new NCOA outreach specialist. So I am the person that will be, conducting outreach in Windsor and Windham counties to try to help to connect seniors and those that are disabled with services.
Right. And you just started the job, what, a week ago?
Yes. Yep.
And you jumped in with both feet. So we thank you. It's a big ask, but I think you're going to do great. So anybody out there, if you have any need or any question about a benefit for somebody you love or for yourself, get in touch with Tracy and she'll be able to access the NCOA Benefit Enrollment Center and help you or help find resources for your family. And she'll probably find some things you never even thought of.
And Thom, what is as you're going to be part of outreach as well, I believe. And so what is your role for Senior Solutions now?
So I am the Three Squares Vermont outreach specialist, which means I am very much laser focused on getting food benefits to low-income seniors in our area of service.
And I have to say, I am thrilled that you're in the position you're in, because we know there's going to be a huge uptick in the number of people who are going to find out that they are eligible for certain nutrition benefits that they never dreamed of. So we're really happy to have you, Thom.
Thank you. And if I can follow up on something you just said, we know that 60% of seniors in Windham and Windsor counties who are eligible, who are income eligible for 3 Squares Vermont assistance are not participating. And I think a lot of people think that you've got to be like, really, really destitute. But if you're at 185% of the federal poverty level, which is actually fairly high. It's a couple with an income of $2,659 a month qualifies. But
That's
many
impressive.
of our seniors do not participate and don't realize that this program is available to them.
No, I'm so glad you brought that up, because you're right. A lot of us are eligible for a lot of benefits that we thought were only for other people.
Right.
But that's not true. And I thank you for bringing that to our attention, because previously I actually thought that most of the people who were signed up for these nutrition programs were already signed up. And you have really opened my eyes. So Jim, what are your thoughts about the 3 people that we now have actively doing outreach to help the people in Windsor and Windham County?
Well, you've got to start at the ground level. I think Thom's right on that, and that's an awareness, and you got to get the message out, and you can get it out through programs like this. You can get it out through publications on Facebook, but there's nothing more beneficial than picking up the phone, making an appointment to meet with people to help them out. Once you explain what programs are available, Sarah's done an amazing job at dealing with the medical area, with Medicare, Medicaid situation, as well as drug availability. And Tracy has a fabulous personality and knows how to get messages out, number one. Do you have any specialty that you plan to do to start off, Tracy, with this? Any specific a particular community or town or anything like that?
Yes, my first stop was the vet center in White River Junction, because since I started at Senior Solutions about 1.5 years ago, what I came to realize between working in the White River area and then living in the Windsor area, what I noticed is people in the Windsor to White River Junction areas are not as familiar with our services and supports as what people are between Springfield and the southern region that we service. So I wanted to start with sort of the top of our catchment field and deal with White River Junction. So I reached out to the vet center, and they have a weekly farmers market that I hopefully am going to be doing. We've had a little hiccup here at the beginning. So I am going to be meeting with the director there to talk to him about setting up a table to talk to people about our services and supports. They're very excited to start that relationship with us, and to talk about what kind of things we can offer the veterans. And it's kind of a tough nut to crack with them. You know, you really have to get in and talk to them. I absolutely agree that, you know, in person, over the phone, contact is really important. And I said as much when I interviewed for this position with Carol and Mark. They asked me how I was going to start, and I said, I'm kind of old school, and I'm just going to go out and knock on doors and talk to people. And, you know, luckily the weather is nice enough now that, you know, we can social distance outside and, you know, go over the benefit of having a relationship with Senior Solutions and the National Council on Aging as a whole.
That's great. That's great. And Tracy, if you're going to talk, if anybody's going to talk them into it, you're the one. You'll be very effective. I have every confidence in the world in you.
Thank
I'm
you.
really appreciative of your efforts too. I think you've got a good plan.
Thank you. Oh, and I did actually make a contact just yesterday at the Windsor Community Resource Center in my hometown. And I am going to have office hours at the Resource Center every Friday from 10 to 12. And so anyone who has questions about services through Senior Solutions, anyone who needs help filling out an application for 3 Squares Vermont, or fuel assistance, or any V-Farm, Medicaid, any of those forms, if anyone needs help, I am going to be there every Friday for 2 hours, just meeting with people and getting them information and helping them, get connected to the services.
That's fantastic.
Very,
Fantastic.
very good.
Great. Hey, Sarah, you still with us?
I am with you, and that sort of segues in. You can ask me your question, and if it's not where I'm headed, then I'll table mine. So yeah, I am still here.
So do you want to give us any additional information maybe about, how you're able to help people who are on Medicare boost their budgets by signing them up for, the pharmacy help and things like that?
Yeah, so one of the things you alluded to at the start of our conversation is my specialty, and you were referring to the fact that I am also here at Senior Solutions, one of our Medicare counselors. Senior Solutions offers the state health insurance assistance program, which is one-to-one counseling for people either actively on Medicare and wanting to see what their options are coming up, or they're just finding out that they're eligible for Medicare and realizing that there's all these steps that they need to take to sign up for the different pieces and parts. And so when people find out that they're on Medicare, they need to try and match themselves with a drug plan. Sorry, I have children with me if you hear.
That's okay. That's okay.
I like to share stories because it illustrates, takes away all the technicalities. And so one of my recent stories is someone was turning 65 in the month of March, and was already collecting Social Security benefits, because you can sign up for retirement benefits when you turn 62 to get your financial retirement benefits that you've paid into to Social Security. You can start drawing that early at age 62, but you're not eligible to enroll in the Medicare insurance program until you're 65. So this individual got automatically enrolled in Medicare as he was approaching his 65th birthday. And he was also notified that he was going to start having $148.50 withheld from his benefit to pay for that Medicare. And he started to panic a little bit. And I think someone at Social Security was the one who said, you need to call Senior Solutions and find out ways to help pay that premium. And so he followed the instructions, called us. Through talking with him, realized, number one, he was a veteran. You mentioned about veterans earlier, Tracy. He was a veteran, so he had access to the VA medical systems. So he needed to know, do I need Medicare? Do I need to pay for Medicare? So we had that conversation, finding out he was only getting a $1,200 a month Social Security benefit, which is about average. They range from $900 to almost $2,000. So 1,200 is, right in the middle there. But come to find out, he was a 2-person household. And for COVID, he was laid off. So he and his wife were trying to make ends meet on $1,200 a month. So I sort of looked at the big picture and sort of broke it apart into pieces. First, we called Social Security, and he said he wanted to delay his enrollment. So we got a 5-month deferrals so that they pulled him off of the
I think we're losing audio. Okay,
to slow that step. Then we filled out. Yep. Am I still here?
You're back a little bit, so we probably better wind it up before we
Yeah,
lose it
so
again.
it was very exciting because he called about Medicare and feeling he couldn't afford Medicare. So the first thing we did after delaying his enrollment in Medicare was to apply for food stamps, fuel assistance, and then we applied for the Medicare savings program. So he called because he was going to have $150 withheld from his benefit that he couldn't afford. And he ended up gaining $430 in 3 Squares benefits. And he's eligible for fuel assistance next heating season.
Oh, that's a great outcome.
Yes, and then when his deferral for Medicare is over, he will be in Medicare under the Medicare Savings Program, which will save him the $148.50. The Medicare Savings Program pays your premium for
Nice.
you. So those are really exciting things like that make my job so rewarding.
And I know you love to help people, which makes it a beautiful combination. And, people aren't going to know that just talking to Social Security, but calling Senior Solutions and working with you and maybe also with Patty, this is where we can really make a difference in people's lives. And they should also know this is not charity. These are benefits that older Americans are definitely entitled to. And it's almost the same as getting your Social Security check each month. That's not charity. Nobody thinks it's charity. And most of these benefits are not charity either. These are things we as Americans are entitled to. And I think that's, such a wonderful gift that we can give to our aging Vermonters between you and Tracy and Thom, helping people through the system to understand that there is help for people to get the benefits without feeling that it's a charity. It's not. So, Thom, let's go back and see what you're thinking.
Well, I actually would like to follow up with something you just said, Joanne. Many seniors think to themselves, well, I don't want to take these benefits because it's going to hurt someone else. Someone else needs it more than I do. But it's not a situation where there's, say, $100, and if 2 people ask for it, they split it 50-50. But if 4 people ask for it, they split it 25-25-20. It doesn't work that way. If you're eligible for benefits, you receive the full amount of benefits, and it doesn't detract from anything anyone else is entitled to receive. So rather than taking money away from someone else, you are actually strengthening your home community because the dollars you spend in that community multiply. There's a program right now which is wonderful called Crop Cash. If you receive 3 Squares benefits, for every $1 in benefits that you receive in 3 Squares, you get $3 of buying power at local farmers markets. Brattleboro participates, Putney participates, Townsend participates.
Windsor participates.
There you go. So who wouldn't want to, have $10 to spend and get $30 worth of fresh fruit and vegetables from local farmers? So again, you're not taking money away from anyone. You are empowering your own household, and you are strengthening the community as this money circulates. And plus, you're eating well. I mean, this is a win-win-win situation.
That's a good way to look at it, isn't it? Yeah. Jim, you remember when you first started, and we were talking to the people in the senior center down in Brattleboro?
Oh, yes.
And you were explaining to them, some of the benefits that are going to help them increase the power of their dollar.
Right. And I guess, Thom, how would a senior go about applying for the 3 Squares? What's the process?
The best way to do this is to call Senior Solutions. We don't provide the money, but we provide the application assistance. And it's important to call us because there actually are 2 different programs. There is the general 3 Squares Vermont program. There is also a newer easier, quicker program called 3 Squares Vermont in a Snap. If everyone in your household is 60 or over, or disabled, or some combination, and there's no earned income, so you don't have a job, you're eligible for 3 Squares in a Snap, which means once your benefits are awarded, they're good for 3 years without any additional paperwork. And the initial application is it's 4 pages, which is, and it's large print, so it actually is very, very easy. So if you call us, we'll be able to figure out which program is the best one for you. And if you qualify for that, that quick and easy one, that's the one we're going to put you into. And you also can apply for fuel assistance with that same application. And many people may not even realize that when they apply for 3 Squares Vermont, the same application can be used for fuel assistance. And that fuel assistance can be used for your oil. It can be used if you heat with wood. It's really a wonderful program. Call us first and we'll steer you into the right place, get the right application to you, and follow up to make sure that you don't fall through the cracks.
I think that's an important aspect of it, because so many people maybe get an application in the mail from some agency. They either can't really see well enough to read it, or they put it aside because it looks so darn complicated.
Right.
Whereas, if you call us, we'll make sure that we walk you through these applications. And like Thom says, we'll follow up and make sure you get accepted. Because sometimes there's a little glitch that was missed and you don't get accepted. We can remedy that.
And if someone needs to or wants to, I'll take the information over the phone and drive the application to their house and have them sign it, and they never have to worry about it again. So we'll do what it takes.
That as well. I'll do it as well.
Okay, listen up, everybody out there. This is a team that knows how to work, and they want to work for you and me and everybody out there. So, let's let them do it. Don't hesitate. Wait a minute. What's our helpline number? I know. Okay. 802-885-2669.
Or you can call toll free, 866-673-8376.
There you go. All right. Nice.
We should have a band across the bottom that has our helpline number.
We'll see how BCTV does that. They may put that into the production. Yeah. So, these are all benefits for older Americans.
Right,
Go ahead,
and
Jim.
I think when you do make calls to Senior Solutions for some help, there are other things that Senior Solutions can hook you up with. If you need to want to have a companion talk to you, we do that through our volunteer program, where we match up other seniors with seniors that want to be friendly to somebody else that may be going to everything all by themselves.
Yeah.
And offer that kind of support. We have a Pearls program that helps people that are feeling depressed. That depression is evaluated, and if you meet the standards, then you can participate in some counseling. It's an 8-week program that's very helpful. So there are other opportunities. If you're a vet and you have good memories about your service, we have a vet-to-vet program that can match you up as well. So all these people that are on outreach know more than just 3 Squares, no more than just Medicare, or no more than some of these other issues. They can find the right person to hook you up.
That's so important. You're right, Jim. I mean, most of our staff, we're almost like multi-functioning. We all try to be cross-trained a bit and have a good understanding of where to send people for help, where to give, when to give people help. And also, if you want to volunteer, you can contact the helpline and make sure that you've, give them the information, and our volunteer coordinator will get back to you and welcome you aboard and put you through orientation. I just got a timely reminder from Sara. Do you know that we're having an auction, an online auction for senior solutions to benefit our volunteer visitor program? So if everybody out there is interested in seeing what they might be able to bid on, all you have to do is go to our website, which is www.seniorsolutionsvt.org. And there'll be a button on the homepage that'll take you right to the auction website. We have some real nice products from local.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Sara, why don't you tell, because you know a lot more than I do.
Yeah, so I just wanted to tie in, as Jim mentioned, about all the other things that Senior Solutions does, but not besides help people with gaining extra money to boost their budget, is that we are also in the middle of the fundraiser to support our visitor programs, those ones that Jim mentioned. Those visitors do so much for so many people in the communities we serve, and several of them have made handcrafts and things that we're currently auctioning off on our website. There's gift certificates for auto repair. There's gift certificates for delis and eateries in the area. There are beautiful handmade products, braided rugs and quilts and afghans and some scarves and gloves, and just all the folks that's it's their way of sort of giving back, donating items that they've made or that their businesses produce in support of our programs. So if anyone is watching this and has internet access and wants to check it out, it's all the month of March. We're accepting bids on these items, and there's
and our auction is lasting through the month of April.
Yeah.
Great. So I've been on the website, and I think after the first week I looked, we already had quite a few bids. So I encourage anybody out there who's interested, you should just check it out. You'll be amazed and see some pretty good stuff there that you might want to have. So don't be shy. Be aggressive. You know, bid early and bid often. We could use the help for our visitors. They are extraordinary.
Yeah.
And they go above and beyond what's expected. I mean, I know one of the vet to vet visitors actually takes his buddy fishing. They go fishing together. You know, this is not something dull. It's not drudgery. This is great fun for everybody. And it's what we all need, especially now as we're going into our second year of the pandemic. We all get lonely a little bit. We could all use an extra buddy or friend. And human companionship is what we thrive on. And it affects not only your mental health, but your physical health too. And getting together helps everybody involved. So yeah, we love our volunteers, and you know, we couldn't do it without them. And the NCOA, which is the National Council on Aging, I just want to make sure everybody understands that that's actually an umbrella that all of our benefits basically fit under, except we do have other programs which Sara alluded to, which would be our respite, you know, like people who are taking care of a family member with maybe dementia or Alzheimer. We have a dementia respite grant program. We also have the Foxy Fund, which is to help people that maybe have reached a stage in life where it's really getting difficult, and they have to decide, oh my gosh, could I, pay my electric bill this month, or could I get, the big bag of dog food that I require? So when you get to that stage, you give us a call, because we'll be very happy to chip in and buy that dog food till your next Social Security check rolls in. And these are just little things that we can do. But sometimes it's the little things that really mean a lot to people. And, we all need help at one time or another. It's nothing to be ashamed about, or to be, we love our rural Vermonters who are so independent and so proud. And my father was the same way. He didn't live in Vermont, but you would think he did. He would not ask anyone for a ride to go to the doctor. He would not ask anyone. And when people offered it to him, he was like, no, I don't want to accept your help. And you know what it did? It made other people feel better when he accepted their help.
Absolutely.
And I think, you're giving a gift to people who have benefited by all the things you have done over the years. You are the people who built our schools. You've worked all your lives in your communities. You've given and given and given until it hurts. And this is just the government's way and our way of saying thank you. You deserve it, you earned it, and it's not a gift. It's just a thank you.
Well said.
So if you guys have plenty of things if you would like to, just jump in and talk. Let's open it up. Let's have open mic.
I think the most important thing that I feel needs to be said is that no one should ever have to worry, like, am I going to buy my medication this month, or am I going to feed myself and my family? You should never have to make that decision. That's just not right. So,
And I also like what Thom said about you're not taking away from anyone else.
Right.
So often our aging Vermonters are so selfless. They worry that the young family down the street is struggling. And let me say, as much as we would like to help them, the Older Americans Act, money that provides the benefits that we can give to those over 60, literally cannot go to anyone else. If you're 40, you're not eligible. No matter what we do, we can't give you any of that money. So, like Tracy says, please don't be shy. Call us up, because if we were allowed to, we would go down the street and knock on all the doors and find you and say to you personally, hey, how you doing? But we can't do that. We have to rely on people to call us. So the number again, 802-885-2669. And Tracy, want to give that toll-free number again?
Sure. It's 673-8376.
Great. Thom, is there anything you want to add into your 3 Squares services?
I think I'd just like to add that even if someone is not eligible or doesn't feel they're eligible, you probably know someone who is. And getting the word out that this is important. It's important for their health and for the community. Pass this information on. If people receive benefits, most of them will get a card. It looks just like a debit card. It can be used in 600 different stores in Vermont, and people don't realize that pharmacies, special, a Circle K,
Did you say Walmart?
Rite Aid, supermarkets, general stores, almost all of them accept this card. It's not hard to use. I will also say that some people are still a little reluctant to get another card or to use a card. If everyone in your house is 65 or over, you can actually get these benefits deposited directly into your bank account, just like you would receive a Social Security check in your bank account.
Yep,
and then you use it just like you normally use your checking account. So no one knows, and it's not hard, and it's more money. And the average single senior in Vermont who is on this program is getting $163 a month. Who in the world would not want another $163?
I think everybody could use it. Yeah, you're right.
Supermarket. I'll take it.
Hey, me too. Yeah, I'd love it. You're right. And there's so many ways that we can accommodate people's needs without them having to feel self-conscious, and having that money put right into your checking account if your household is over 65. That's great. You're right. It keeps everything very anonymous, and even the cards. Who knows? Nobody looks and sees what my bank card looks like. You just put it in the machine, the chip reads it, and there you go. So it's really, with Thom's help, I think, signing up for the 3 squares or 3 squares in a snap is going to be a pleasurable experience. It sounds like the application is way simpler than it used to be.
It is.
So
Oh
that's
my
good to
gosh.
know.
It's 4 pages and the front page is instructions. This is easy.
Great. That's wonderful news. Appreciate it. And Sara, if you're still there, I just want to say a special thank you to you for, coming on and driving on vacation.
Mom, I'm so happy to be here.
Well, we're happy to see you too. I hope you're having a good time with your family.
Thank you, everybody. I love being part of this team. I like helping people. I like getting the stories and the updates about how people have benefited after they've connected with us and gotten our help. And they feel comfortable calling us back a few months later. It's just a nice feeling, and like I said, makes what we do for work really rewarding.
I know you feel that way, and I have read some of those testimonials that people have sent in after you've helped them, and it's truly inspirational. Really is. Thank you, Sara.
I think a program that we haven't talked about, I think I'm going to call on Tracy to do this because she knows the people that are involved, is our case managing system. It's so unique but so helpful to so many Vermonters.
Okay.
Well, Tracy, I'm going to help.
Putting me on the spot. Thank you.
Can I help you out?
Sure.
Jim, what you just said was so important, and it reminded me of something that I have forgotten to talk about. And that is people who are suffering from self-neglect. Statutorily used to be that people would call the Division of Adult Protective Services, and they would try to investigate it. Well, that's something that is a little difficult because according to state statute, again, as long as you are of a sound mind, you can live any way you want, even if it is not an appealing way to other people. So now, if anybody suspects or feels sorry or is worried about someone that they think is suffering from self-neglect, they can now call the V4As, the Councils on Aging. And our case managers actually investigate those situations, but they are so adept at understanding how to build the relationship, how to be understanding, non-judgmental, and reinforce the relationship so that people learn to trust. That's the main thing. People don't want a stranger coming in and telling them how to live. They need somebody who's, can understand what they are experiencing in life and maybe just help them feel that, maybe we could clean up some of this, or, would you mind if we had somebody come over and take care of this one little problem for you? And it really does work. Self-neglect doesn't happen overnight. And now with the, pandemic where everybody had to be self-isolating, I think a lot of us on certain days could have been accused of self-neglect. I know there were 1 or 2 days I didn't take my shower till 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So, this is something that, we do worry about. We do want to help, but we're not about to change anyone's life. We just want to make sure that if people want to live that way and they're comfortable and they're not hurting anybody else or breaking a law, okay. But if you want help and you think that you're willing to try a little bit, then we'll be happy to lend a hand. So it's a very, very difficult symptom because there is no perpetrator like forms of abuse. when there's abuse going on and you're older, whether it's financial abuse or physical abuse or sexual abuse or emotional abuse, there's a perpetrator. But with self-neglect, it's self-inflicted. So who are you going to blame? Who are you going to call? So you call us if you think you have a relative or a next door neighbor who's exhibiting those tendencies, and we'll look into it.
You know, Joanne, I just wanted to briefly mention the grant funds that we also received to purchase devices for
Right.
those that are isolated, so that they can stay in touch with caregivers, family, and do telehealth. And so if you or someone you know is, does not have a device and would like a device to do, to stay connected to others and also to do telehealth, they can call the helpline as well. There's just a simple little screen that they do with these folks. I don't even think it's a whole page, just a few questions that they ask, and you can be provided with a device so that you can stay connected.
Yeah, I think Moira oversees that, and she's done a great job.
Yeah.
We do have devices that we can lend out to people, and if you need training, and if like Tracy just said, if you fill out the form, I think then Moira will be able to figure out what device would be most appropriate for you.
Right.
And so many people, when they're isolated, nobody knows, because how do you get in touch with them? And how do they get in touch with people in the outside? Many times, they don't have a cell phone, or they have a cell phone, but doesn't help because they don't have a cell tower nearby. So there's all kinds of situations that cause isolation, sometimes social, sometimes geographic. So, these devices, though, are another step in helping to reconnect people and making them more healthy and happy. Thank you for bringing that up. I had thought of it earlier and completely forgot it. Jim, what else do we have before we wind up?
Well, I just think it's a multifaceted organization that can meet the needs of almost any of the needs of our aging population for support. Whether it's helping them save money through Medicare savings, understanding Medicare and Medicaid, which are kind of complicated items in the first place, whether they're feeling lonely and they need to have somebody visit them or call them. I mean, this is a great organization to support our aging population so they live a quality life. That's the key.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The important thing also to mention is that our services are free. So we don't charge for any of our services. So if we help you fill out a form or put you in touch with a service or support, there's no charge.
That's right.
For our services.
No, that's a good point, because sometimes I forget to say that because it's so internalized. But
Right.
People who are hearing it for the first time go, gee, I wonder how much we have to pay for that. Nothing.
Right.
And the same thing for the home meds program. When we're able to go back into people's homes and visit, and Ann, our nurse case manager, can sit down with you and go over all your accumulated drugs, prescriptions, over the counter, herbal remedies, vitamins, you name it. Take them all into consideration, enter them into the computer. She'll give you some firsthand information, then send that along to our geriatric pharmacist. And when you get the report back, to your general practitioner, you'll know if you need to switch medications or you need to do what you're doing, or if there's something that you should no longer take, then you're in less danger of having medications working against each other inside your body. Because we don't know who knows what all those chemicals are doing. but the pharmacist will know and let you and your doctor know. And it's free, which is always good. Okay, anybody else out there want to put in their 2 or 3 cents? Oh, it's quiet. Okay, we must have covered a lot of territory. Well, everybody, I hope you've enjoyed talking to, listening, I should say, listening to our 3 specialists in the outreach world for 3 Squares, NCOA, and our medical insurance. So Tracy, Thom, and also Sara, thank you. Thanks so much. And Jim, we'll be back another time for more information, right? Okay, everybody. Thanks and goodbye.
Thank
Have a good
you.
one.